Hey Jags, welcome back to Jag TV. I have another interview for you guys today. This interview is going to be interview with a photographer. So the photographer that I interviewed today is named Elise Paul, and she is a marketing and communications intern at South. So a lot of you have probably already seen a lot of her work because she takes a good bit of the photos for South Alabama's Instagram page. So her and I just got together and talked about what it's like being a photographer for the university and doing freelance photography and how she got into it in the first place. But unfortunately, we ran into a little bit of technical difficulties while trying to record this interview. So we thought it would be better for me to just send her the interview questions and have her record herself and then send them back to me. So that's why the format of this interview is just a little bit different than some of the other ones. But I think you guys will really enjoy this interview, and let's get into it.
Hey guys, my name is Elise Paul. I'm a social work major at South. I'm a rising junior, and I wanted to kind of introduce myself to you guys and also tell you, answer some questions that you guys might have about photography. So the first question is, how did you get into photography? And I would say that it started when I was around 12 or 13. After school and after I finished my homework, I would take my family's camera outside and take pictures of anything I saw. So flowers, plants, birds, wildlife, whatever it was. And I just found myself really liking it. So from there, my love of photography started to grow, and it started taking up all my free time. And eventually my parents got me a camera for my birthday, and so my love for photography started to grow, along with my love for graphic design, marketing, and digital creative photography. So the next question is, do you have any mentors who have taught you a lot about photography? And I had to think about this, but I would say that on my dad's side of the family, I would go visit my grandfather and my uncle once or twice a year, and they would always have pictures up, and they would show me their photos, their astrophotography and their aviation photography. Both of them really loved taking pictures of the sky, and they had telescopes that they would look through and take pictures of the telescopes, and then also they would take pictures at aviation, like at air shows. So that's where I first got introduced to it. But I would say a mentor of mine, really the people that I work with in the marketing and communications building. I have a lot of great people who inspire me and influence me and answer questions for me if I have them. I'm learning and growing every day with photography, and that's another reason why I love it so much, is because you learn something new every day. And so I would say that right now, the people who are in the marketing and communications building really inspire me and mentor me in helping the creative process and getting a photo that I'm really happy with. So following up on that question, I actually have an internship at the university through marketing and communications, and my title is student intern of marketing and communications, but I'm actually a photographer for the university. So my boss sends me events and places to go to take pictures for the university, and my photos mainly go on the Instagram and Instagram stories for the university, but they're also on the main webpage and on the Facebook as well. So that's where I get a lot of my work, is through the internship that I have. I really enjoy doing that, and I got that position by making connections with people who are around me that saw that I had a passion for photography. One thing I've learned through the internship is that you really have to step out of your comfort zone and do things that you're not necessarily used to. So my love of photography started with creative portraits, creative photography, things like that. But I noticed as I started my internship that I needed to make photos that were more geared toward the university. So clean and precise shots that really didn't have much, like many abnormal things with it. So, which is completely different than creative photography. So I would say that the internship has taught me the most to step out of your comfort zone and do things that you don't even you're not necessarily interested in, and from there your love for that thing will grow as you continue to make work that you enjoy and take shots that you really find intriguing that you wouldn't normally have before. So on top of my internship, I also do freelance photography, and I sell Lightroom presets. Well, I also make them, but I really enjoy editing and graphic design, as I stated earlier. And a lot of other people would ask me to edit their photos for them, and for a while I just thought it was by word of mouth, but then I realized that there was a high demand for digital products such as Lightroom presets. So I started making my own and selling them, and that went really well. And that was a great opportunity for me to also make new clients for my freelance photography, which I do a couple photos, graduates. I also take pictures of just portraits if people want portraits as well. And I really enjoy doing that. That's a lot of fun. So this is a really good question. Do you need a fancy camera to get into photography? And I always like to tell people that, or remind them that even professional photographers with thousands of dollars worth of gear that you see, on the sidelines at sports games, like on ESPN, those are the same people that actually use instant photography before they go in with their DSLR, their big cameras with the huge lenses and things like that. It's really important to remember that no matter what medium you're using, you can get the same result, if not even a better result. So some photographers even like to walk around with a Polaroid or even an instant camera from CBS, like a Kodak instant film. And so I just want to remind people that you don't have to have expensive gear to be a photographer. In fact, sometimes I even prefer not bringing my big camera out and around. And I love to go back to films and get them developed, and even Polaroids. So also another thing that I want to state is that the cameras on majority of people's phones it's actually better, if not just as good as some of the lenses that you can get, like kit lenses that you can get with big expensive cameras. Technology is an amazing thing, and even just walking around with my phone, sometimes I prefer doing that over bringing my DSLR, my Canon, around with me, just because it's more compact and also it's more real to what you're actually seeing. You're not going to carry around your camera when you're walking up the street or things like that. It's really amazing that we have technology that's able to capture the same sort of thing as super expensive big cameras. I wanted to show you guys some of my favorite photos that I've taken. Not only do I love these photos because of how they turned out, but I also love them because of the process that it took to get the photos and also edit them. So the first photo is at the T-Pain concert at the Mitchell Center at South, and obviously this was a great opportunity. I mean, it was so fun. I love T-Pain, but on top of that, it was just a great energy, and the first time that South ever did a concert like this. So the whole Mitchell Center was sold out. All the tickets were sold out, and the energy was just crazy. I could only take pictures for the first 10-15 minutes. So it was high energy, and just the fact that I had to get the right shot in those 10-15 minutes kind of made it more exciting for me. And so that's what makes it one of my favorite photos. And then also the way it turned out with the lighting, and the stage crew did a really good job with the lighting. It was just an awesome time. And my second favorite photo that I chose was at the South Auburn game, another time where the Mitchell Center was completely sold out. So there was a lot of energy, and I was able to be courtside the whole game and kind of get a backstage experience. I don't know much about South's athletics department. And I'd never actually been to a basketball game, but since it's free for students, I wanted to go anyway. But on top of that, having an opportunity to be courtside and talk to certain people and be around other photographers was just very, it was inspiring, honestly. It was also on ESPN, so I got to rewatch it and kind of like see myself on the sidelines. It was just it was an awesome experience, and I love the way that the shots turned out. They were great action shots, so I would say that that was my second favorite photo. And then my third would be just any campus photo. So I have chosen this one, but on top of that, I would just say that any campus shot, just walking around campus with my camera and just shooting whichever, like whatever I see, whether it be people or, you know, buildings on campus, nature, it just embodies what my job allows me to do, which is to kind of go out and take pictures of whatever, but also take pictures of things that represent the university really well. And South has such a beautiful campus, and we're so lucky to have such a great campus. So I'm really glad that I'm able to take pictures that kind of draw emotion and, you know, good memories to people. And so that's another reason why I chose this photo. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I am so glad that I had this opportunity. Thank you, Jag TV, and also I hope everybody's staying safe, and go Jags.